Hello and welcome to the AfroCentric Woman. Thank you for tuning in. I wanted to jump on here quickly and share some thoughts about the what has been dubbed the sector. People who cover Umar Johnson related topics, and who cover people who cover Umar Johnson and Umar related Johnson topics. So I feel like I hear the same question over and over and over and over again, and there's a lot of confusion as it relates to the quality of people and the uh, the level of antics and um, dialogue and injustices, or rather criminal activity and unethical activity, immoral activity, very counterproductive activity that goes on because of this sector. Well, because of the people who get involved. And why is this particular topic so attractive to such unhinged people, such scrupulous people, such criminal minded people? Why is that? And I think I know why. I think I understand. I get it, and I think that it would behoove those who got into it for a different reason, and maybe I'll save that to the end, who got into it because they really genuinely are concerned that money from Black families and Black households is being funneled to a criminal who has suffering from addiction and who is squandering millions of dollars, who has squandered millions of dollars over the past 10 plus years. There are people who are genuinely concerned about that. There are also people who work in mental health. There are also people who work in education, and it's something that comes together as far as those who care about children and work in education, and those who work in mental health, those who work with families are very concerned that this rogue person who's not even a practitioner is going out and spreading misinformation about various different fields in mental health, which he has no licensure in. He spreads misinformation. He pretends to be a family therapist. He's pretended to be a therapist. He's pretended to be a counselor. He's pretended to be a clinical therapist. He's not authorized to work in anybody's clinical setting. He cannot provide therapy for anyone legally anywhere in the United States of America. And so it makes sense that people would be concerned that this person is causing so much damage and harm. And then with the scam, and the scam it's not real, and it's just unfortunate to see, people continue to donate to something that's never going to come to fruition, to see someone squander away so much money. But this is what I think is happening. All right, so why are so many crazy people attracted to the Umar topic? The first and number one reason why people are attracted to the Umar topic, especially like the crazy ones, I'm talking about the crazy ones now, that it's called instant trust. It's instant trust because if they start talking about Umar Johnson, they're able to get an audience very quickly, and they're able to get that audience to trust them very quickly because they appear to be criticizing Umar. Even though we all know it always unravels into something else and it's always like another agenda, but the initial camaraderie is built on, oh, I'm criticizing Umar, I'm against what Umar is saying. And so people who are regular upstanding citizens, who are regular schmegular, regular degular people who are just trying to do the right thing each day, try to pay their taxes, try to do the right thing, try to live a good life, go to work, earn a paycheck, earn a living. They're not scamming and scheming people, and they have their motivations for criticizing Umar. And then when they see someone else, they automatically project their good morals onto that person, even though that person is not deserving of them. You understand? That person has not earned your trust. That person has not earned your, the validation. They have not earned your ear. They have not earned, the benefit of the doubt. They haven't earned anything, but you give it to them because you just assume that they're in it for the same reason that you're in it. So it's that instant trust. And that's why a lot of these scamming and scheming people, there's been various people who are covering this topic who have been revealed to have other legal issues. They have other scams that they have run in the past, or they're currently running a scam today, or they're just in it trying to get the super chats. Well, once they establish that common ground, they know, like, oh, let me try to get in with this group of people because this is going to give me and people are gonna let their guards down. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. People will let their guards down on both sides of the coins. So for those who are staunch, Umar supporters, and you come in and you're talking about, oh, Umar, I really like him, even though they may feel no ways about Umar. They may possibly feel no one way or the other about him, but those people's guards are instantly let down. And then for those of us on this side of the coin who are upstanding citizens who genuinely do not morally agree with the way Umar conducts himself and the way Umar's been scamming, scheming, and plundering the Black community for the past 10 plus years, our guards are instantly let down. Anti-Afro Spengali says, amen to what you're saying. There are predator opportunists in the mix. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's the number one tactic that they use, and they know it. And so that's why, if you can imagine Umar being a flame of scamming and scheming, like a beacon of light of scamming and scheming and exploitation, of womanizing, of abusing, of all of that. And just imagine that that's on a frequency and a light that all the other scammers, schemers, and abusers are attracted to it, like a moth to a flame. And so they all coalesce around this dark energy, around this is a way of life for a lot of people. And I think that for a lot of us who just try to live a good life, we literally go to work, we just do everything, we try to live the best way, just a non-problematic life. Like, we even do our car registrations on time. We literally just want to fly under the radar. We don't want no beef, we don't want no smoke. We just want to live our life and do good. It's hard for good people to wrap their mind around people who literally wake up every day and think about how to scam and scheme and get over. But you just have to accept what is about these people, because you spend so much time being confused instead of just accepting them for who they are. They're just scamming, scheming type of people. That's who they are. And they use the Umar topic to make people let their guards down because you think that you have common ground. You think that you're both disagreeing with Umar for the same reasons. And this is why so many people have been caught up in people coming into this and pretending to be one way, and then it's revealed they start acting weird, and then it's revealed actually they have absolutely no problem with what Umar is doing. And then they go after and attack the people who are on the moral just side to try to tear them down, you see. And that's a huge issue. And I think that the more of us on this side can try to look at things from a logical standpoint and try to understand the mindset of these people and how they move the way they move, you will spend less time in confusion. You will be hurt less, because you will guard your heart and you will guard your emotions in a more prudent manner. You will keep those types of things a lot closer to you, and you won't allow these people to come in and try to manipulate you. I hope I'm making sense. And then here's a concept to understand and remember that will apply to many other issues and not just this Umar situation. The enemy of your enemy is not your friend necessarily. The enemy of your enemy is not necessarily your friend. There may be people beefing with Umar for whatever reason. Like, for example, I'll just give you an example. Don, I never spoke on that situation. I really don't care. I'm from the hood, okay? So I'm used to people like Don. I'm used to people like Umar. Don, he's just like like whatever. He's just a guy who's dealing with some issues and whatever. He learned how to beg on the internet from Umar. So just because Don and Umar have a beef does not mean that I need to donate to Don. I'm not getting involved with that. You understand? I'm not going to involve myself with petty, like addicts squabbling. I used to live in the hood. Do you know how many times I've seen addicts squabble over $5? I've seen this all the time. Okay. I don't go and get involved in that kind of stuff. I just let them do whatever they do. They're going to do whatever they do. Just because Umar has beef with anybody doesn't mean it's your friend. And this is how people got caught up with this whole Kevin Samuels thing. Oh, well, now Umar's going against Kevin. So now Umar's good. Oh, so he has redeeming qualities because one abusive person has negative things to say about another abusive person. No, don't get caught up in that. Remove yourself from the drama of like people who are having their things over there. Let them have their things over there. Do your best not to get involved with their drama and their things, because it will not do us any good. And we need to march on to what we're doing, which is the goal is to stop the scam, right? The other thing is that the scamming it's very alluring to these kinds of people. You have to understand that there are people who covet Umar's lifestyle and they crave to live a very similar lifestyle. They crave to live a similar lifestyle. So they see that Umar has no job. All he does for beg for money and cookies online. He lives his life like a total rolling stone from pillar to post. He doesn't have to answer to anybody. He has set his life up in a way to where he's accountable to no one. Me, I'm accountable to a lot of people. I'm accountable to my clients. I'm accountable to my children. I'm accountable to my family structure. I have a reputation to uphold. I'm accountable to a lot of people. I'm accountable to a lot of people. There are people who can hold me to task. There are people who could, whatever. My contractors. I'm accountable to a lot of people. Umar has set himself up. He set his life up in a way that he doesn't have to be accountable to anybody, not to his children. He doesn't have to be accountable to the donors. He doesn't have a board of directors to answer to. He doesn't have any counterparts like a co-founder or a staff to attend to. He doesn't have anything of that to be accountable. And so who did he just told DJ Envy and Charlemagne that if he had, I don't know, X amount of $100,000, that he would be able to finish the school in 3 weeks. So let me understand, you're going to have the school going in 3 weeks, yet you don't have a staff. So how are the background checks going to come back? Anybody who works in education knows that most of the time you have to go through federal background check. You got to do your fingerprints and it has to run through federal, not just your state local. So that usually takes time if you're not already in the system. And you have to do a drug test too. That takes time. So how are you going to get okay, you have like 1 million resumes at this point in time, but yet no one's qualified. Of the 1 million people who've sent you resumes, absolutely none of them are qualified to be a teacher. Okay, fine. So you have the resumes. You need to interview these people. You need to call their references. And you need to background check them and drug test them and then train them to the standards of FDMG, which don't exist. Y'all I know this is hypothetical, but just please bear with me. So you should have a training manual of your FDMG, which you don't have. So they have to go through that training process. And then they have to be licensed or whatever certifications that they need in the Delaware. So you mean to tell me that all that's going to happen within 3 weeks and you'll be up and ready to go? Stop it. Stop it. Anybody who, first of all, I stopped watching Breakfast Club a long time ago because for various reasons that don't even have anything to do with Umar. They were really, really, really mean to Amara La Negra and gaslighting her about colorism, but we could talk about that another day. It's not going to happen. So there are people who look at the way that Umar Johnson lives his life and they want to live a life very similar to that. They don't want to be accountable to anyone. They want to run through the community. They want to scam and they want to scheme. They want to manipulate, women to sleep with them. He wouldn't. The Rainbow Rev is hilarious. The Rainbow Rev says he wouldn't pass a drug test or criminal background. No, you're absolutely right, Rev. He absolutely wouldn't. He wouldn't. He wouldn't pass at all. So yeah, there are people who want to live like Umar, and so they're attracted to covering him or somehow being affiliated with him because they have those kind of fantasies. They have those same kind of fantasies, and so that's where, especially speaking from a Black woman's perspective, that's where you need to be very solid in what it is that is meaningful to you. Like, you have to be able to define within yourself what is a good man. And if you don't know, you need to research that and find out. But you cannot, with these males like Umar Johnson, the goalpost is constantly moving. The goalpost is constantly moving. The standards and the criteria of what is a good man, what is a good husband, what is a good father is constantly moving, because guess what? They will always make exceptions for people like Umar. So Umar doesn't pay his child support. Well, they'll have 1,000 reasons why he's still a good man. Okay, make it make sense. Well, Umar hasn't really built a home anywhere. He doesn't have roots anywhere. Yeah, but he's for the people, so it doesn't matter. So the goalposts will constantly be moving. The standards will always keep shifting. So you have to define those for yourself. If you get caught up in letting these people with these kind of fantasies of that type of lifestyle glorify and edify that type of man, and put that type of male, pardon me, that type of male on a pedestal, and they have every excuse in the book as to why this type of behavior is okay, don't get caught up in that cycle, because those people are living a very similar lifestyle to Umar, or they aspire to live. And if you have to literally be in the gutter if you aspire to live like Umar. Come on, who does? But there are people who do. There are people who do. Umar's death style is attractive to trolls. He has no job, no home, he gets free money, and they think to themselves, sign me up. Sign me up as quickly as I can. The woman who doesn't exist to you says, what is a valuable man? Are you like making a point? Are you asking a real question? I learned about Umar Johnson this past week. Oh, to Lori Marie, girl. Hey, sis, I'm sending you hugs. I still want to talk about narcissistic abuse in the religious community. I still want to talk about that with you. I finally figured out how to work StreamYard, so I need to connect with you on email, and we need to find out when we can talk about that. So to Lori Marie, just to bring you up to date, Umar Johnson is he has a lot of narcissistic traits. He has a host of issues. He needs to go get a property evaluation from somebody. He has a lot of stuff going on, but he has a scam that's been going on for over 10 years, whereby he has had various reiterations of like a school. He says he's going to build a school for Black boys, and there's no school for Black boys. He has access to abandoned buildings in Delaware. I mean, I know people say he bought it. I understand y'all say he bought it. I still have my reservations about how he has access to that building, but nonetheless, he does roam around this building mostly on the outside doing live streams, and he begs for money on Cash App. And that is his life. He gets up, he does his substances, he begs for money, he tries to look for whoever female is desperate enough to sleep with him, and he repeats it every single day. That's his cycle, every single day. And he gives out horrible information to people's especially to parents about ADHD. He has absolutely no idea what ADHD is. He has no idea. He's literally said it doesn't exist, although it is in the diagnostic manual for psychology. It's in there as a disorder. And he says it doesn't exist. He tells people to stop taking medication all of a sudden, which is very dangerous. It's very dangerous to give people the advice to just stop a medication. You can never, ever tell someone, especially if you're a professional, oh, get off your blood pressure medicine. Oh, stop that. You don't need that blood pressure medicine. Get on these natural herbs, or stop taking your ADHD medicine. No, you would always, if you're a professional, you're going to tell that person that they need to talk to their doctor about titrating their medicines down or changing their whatever. They need to talk to a doctor about that. It's so irresponsible of him to tell parents to take their kids off of medication. And he doesn't ever refer to anybody else. He is the end all be all answer to everything. He does not refer parents to, oh, okay, so really you need help with this particular issue. Okay, let me refer you to my colleague who's a specialist in that. Or, oh, you need help with that. Okay, let me, get you to an organization that specializes in that. Hold on, y'all. Let me get her on an assignment. Anyway, thank y'all for holding. Like I was saying, it's very dangerous of him to tell parents to abruptly stop um, medicines for their children. He's just, I can go on and on and on about how dangerous he is, but like people, this is the issue that I had recently when I'm trying to explain to people. So many Black women, oh my God, so many Black women who I thought were very free thinking, intellectual women. I would have never imagined that they would have fell for Umar's pandering. I would have never imagined it in a million years, but for whatever reason they did. Okay, so here we are. We are in this place that women are falling for Umar's pandering. Black women, we have a disdain for Kevin Samuels. I'm in the same camp. I have a disdain for Kevin Samuels. He is dangerous. He is extremely dangerous for Black women and girls. And girls. Okay? We're on the same team. Umar saying a few negative things about Kevin does not absolve Umar of the 10 plus years. But if we were to go to Philly and talk to some people who have been dealing with Umar 20 years ago, if we go talk to the people in the UNIA, I'm sure we could amass a whole another list of different scams. This is just the national scams that we're all aware of. 10 plus years of scamming. 10 plus years of financially neglecting his girls. 10 plus years. I'm not going to absolve him of that because he says a few negative things about Kevin. Again, let me go back to my point earlier. The enemy of your enemy is not necessarily your friend. The enemy of your enemy is not necessarily your friend. What we have now is a lot of toxic, narcissistic people going at each other. Let them. Maybe we can get some answers. Maybe we, in the midst of them spilling each other's tea and going in on each other, like we got tea on Umar from Tariq Nasheed. Do you think for 1 millisecond I support Mr. Mac Daddy player pimp Tariq Nasheed? I do not. I do not. Did I scoop up the tea? I sure did. I scooped up that tea that he spilled and I put it in my archive. Thank you, Mr. Nasheed. Do I support you? I don't. And I never will. And I never have because I've always seen through you. You're such a grifter. You're such a grifter. Him and Kevin are two crusty narcissist fools, says the woman who you don't know, who doesn't exist to you. I'm sorry, babes, that I keep messing up your name. Him and Kevin are two crusty narcissistic fools. He is alone and has no respect for his own profession. It's not his profession, the Rainbow Rev. Nothing involving mental health has anything to do with Umar. And you know the interesting thing about Umar and another supposed therapist that I won't mention, they speak down on people who access therapy. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I have heard that other therapist, which is basically a clone of Umar, I've heard him speak down on people who access services. Who does that? That's why I say this is not Umar's field. He's somehow adjacent. I don't know. I think that Umar has the ability to like get information. Y'all remember back in the day I used to tell you that he would go on Google and he would like read a bunch of facts and figures and then he would go on live. Like for example, when he goes to the graveyards, when he goes to the graveyards, he Googles that information about various different people. And he's able in the short term, or at least he used to be able to. I know his short-term memory is having some issues these days, but he would go on to the live and he would regurgitate that information that he just consumed and seem so smart. And I think that's maybe how he got through college. I think he just regurgitates information, but he has no understanding of mental health. He has no compassion or empathy for anybody else. He's not able to help anybody resolve any issues. He's not able to be resourceful or to refer people to the things that they need to help them with their lives. He's not able to get to the heart of the matter of what's really going on. He's not able to to create a space for people to talk and to share what's going on. What are their insights? What are they feeling? What are their desires? He doesn't have the ability to bring that out of people. Nothing about Umar screams to me a mental health professional. Before I educated myself on ADHD, I used to listen to him rattle off these medication names. I didn't know the medication names. So I was like, okay, well, he knows more than I do. Okay. Because I didn't know about Adderall. I didn't know about Ritalin. I didn't know about Vyvanse and all these different medications. I didn't know. So he was the expert. Sure. You know more about ADHD than I do. Fine. Once I educated myself on ADHD, he doesn't know shit about ADHD. He doesn't know a motherfucking thing about ADHD. And it's incredibly harmful and dangerous for him to tell a parent whose child has gotten a diagnosis from a credible source, a credible practitioner, to change their treatment plan on a whim because they called into a tele-abuse line. That's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Finally, let me say this. Why are trolls and goblins attracted to this Umar Johnson sector? They lack substance. They don't have shit else to talk about, if you think about it. Many of them don't. They don't have nothing else. They don't have anything to offer the world. People say, oh, Lennon honored. All he does is talk about Umar. No, he gets all these super chats. Look at his body of work, though. Look at his body of work over the past, 15 years. He could make a show just about music. He could make a show just about his corny jokes. Y'all don't tell him I said his jokes were corny. Y'all don't tell Lennon. He could just do that. We laugh. I like corny jokes. I laugh right along with him. He could just do that. He could just do family. He could just talk about his animals, his petting zoo. Because he has something to offer the world. Yes, I have videos on Umar on my channel. I also talk about a plethora of other things, and I have a long list of things that I want to share. I have a lot to share. I have a lot to offer the world. I am a woman of substance. Umar is not smart. You're absolutely right, anti-Afro Svengali. Spewing fake suicide rate stats. You're right, anti-Afro Svengali. And the interesting thing is that people say that Umar, he used to be so great, but now he's falling off. No, if you go and listen to his old material from 2012, 2013, 2014, it's pretty much the same. It's just now maybe his working memory is failing him. The addiction is advancing. And so he just ends up repeating the same things over and over again while he's thinking of the next lie. He's more disheveled. He's more impulsive. He's more unstable. Yeah, we all have seen that unfold. But if you listen to the content of the information that he was sharing 10 years ago, it was as trash as the information that he is sharing today. He is not a smart man. He's not an intelligent man. I've never seen him as such. He kind of had me fooled on ADHD, but luckily not for too long. Revealing the Narcissist of YouTube says, Lennon is entertaining and engaging. Yes, he is. Lennon is multifaceted. Rattling off the names of meds doesn't make one an expert. It doesn't. But what I've learned, anti-Afro Svengali, is that sharing information that people would likely not know and focusing on a specific area of information that the general population wouldn't know a lot about it's a con artist tactic. It's a con artist tactic to try to wow people and to try to position yourself as an expert. And when people don't know, they just generally just assign that to you. And again, the goodness of people and the trusting of people, you just assume that you're here for the right reason. The person that's sitting in front of me, they're here for the right reason too. And we don't vet properly. You know what I mean? We don't have a barrier to our trust. Like, you're going to have to do more than you're going to have to do more than go in the Breakfast Club for me to send you money for a school. Like, what is the process that we as a community have before people are in our pocketbooks? What is the process that we have as a womanhood, as a sister circle, before N-words like Umar are in our beds? What is the vetting process? Like, what is the barrier to protect us? What is the boundary that we put up to protect ourselves from people like this? We don't want to live in a doom and gloom world. We don't want to live in a world where we cannot connect to other humans. But what is the likelihood that we could have a predator roaming amongst us, ravaging the community? Another thing that made me speak out against Umar years and years ago is I just said, when he was doing the whole sister circle thing and the polygamy situation and talking about polygamy, I said, I can't stop grown people from doing what the hell they want to do, but I don't think that he should be ever alone with children. I don't think he should be around children. And that was my stance from 2012. I said he should never be alone with a child. He should never have access to children. So I don't think the school is the right thing. That was my stand, and I stand by it to this day, 10 toes down, and what I believe, that's what I believe, period. Umar's always been disgusting, and vetting is key. But yes, lack of substance is a major motivating factor as to why these goblins get involved with this sector, because they don't have anything to offer. They haven't figured out their life purpose. A lot of these men, excuse me, I keep confusing men with males because there's a difference. These are males. A lot of these males ranting and raging online, they don't know their life purpose. They haven't found purpose in their life. They think that they were put on this earth to crush cookies. They don't know that you're more than your what's in between your legs, black male. That's not all life has to offer. Yes, it's great. No one's denying that sexual interaction is great. It feels great, but there's more to life than that. You have more to offer. You have to do the work. And I'm like, what the hell is the work? What is the work? What is the work? You got to clean up your shit, bro. If you clean up your shit that's inside of you and just deal with it, that's manly. Let's talk about that. That's manly. I have reverence, appreciation, and hold in high esteem a man who has the courage to clean up his own internal shit. That is hot and attractive to me and women like me. That's attractive to women like me. But for you to just go on with all of that mess and hurt other people because you haven't taken the time to deal with your own stuff, there's nothing manly about that. You can scream, you can beat your chest, you can say you're an alpha. You can say all that. That doesn't make you a man. That doesn't make you a man because you beat your chest and say you're alpha and you females better bow down to you and you this and you're that and you crush cookies. That doesn't make you a man. It's not attractive. And I know you're miserable. I know you're miserable. And you don't have to be. They don't have to be. They could, like some of you, I understand your personality has been formed and it is what it is. I get it. I get it. Okay, fine. Y'all just go over there and just be amongst each other. Some of y'all have a fighting chance if you just put, if you just do the work and have something to offer the world. Because if you don't have a purpose in life, you don't have any substance, you don't have a mission, you're not working towards a goal. Not a goal of nefarious shit, not a goal of scamming. I'm talking about a righteous goal. I'm talking about, why did God put you on this earth? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, why did your mother carry you for 40 weeks and risk her life to bring you into the world? Why? What was the point? You surely must know that God didn't put you on the earth to scam, scheme, to dox, to do internet crime, to leave fake reviews, to be online for 6 hours, counting other people's pockets. Did you know that while you're counting someone's pockets, you could be looking online on etrade.com to see what kind of stocks you might want to purchase? Did you know that you can go to this website called The Motley Fool, which is an investment website, and you can figure out what stocks are growing? Did you know that? I just want to know, did you know that? The time that you're spending counting someone else's pockets, did you know that you could purchase a CD? Do you know what a CD is? It's a certificate of deposit. Can you call your bank? Did you know that while you're counting someone's pockets, you can call your bank and ask them, hey, do you guys offer certificates of deposit? I want to purchase one. Did you know sometimes you can purchase them for as little as 25 or 50 bucks? And they grow at a higher rate than a regular savings account. And so at the end of the year, you could have maybe extra $20 that you didn't have to work for that you earned in your sleep. Did you know that? Maybe you don't know because you're spending so much time counting somebody else's pockets. You're counting up their super chats. And that could be time that you could be selling a product or doing something productive with yourself. Did you know that? I just want to know. Did you know that? Period, boo. When you lack substance, you're going to be, you will latch on, people who lack substance latch onto this Umar Johnson sector. And they just talk about the people who talk about Umar, and they talk about Umar, or whatever the case may be, because they don't have anything to offer. They're not even offering any additional topics around it. Just, oh, this person is evil. This person is that. Or you don't. Listen, this is the thing about being at peace with yourself. And this is how you know that you're not at peace with yourself. When you have so many criticisms about how other people are living their life and how other people, what they're doing and what their sexual orientation is and what their spouse is doing and what their children are doing, did you know that you could build a family of your own? Did you know that you could be out there trying to date and find yourself a spouse, or getting yourself together so that you don't hurt somebody that you get involved with? Did you know that you could be repairing relationships that you already have from, like, you're estranged from your family? Did you know that you can go mend those some of those bridges with your family that you don't talk to because you didn't hurt so many people? Did you know that you can go make amends? Did you know that? You can. You can go make amends with the people you've hurt and start rebuilding those relationships. Did you know that you could build a relationship with yourself so that you don't have to be so focused on the negativity, and you can learn to love yourself and look in the mirror and love yourself? Did you know that? Well, you can. There's nothing stopping you. There's nobody in your way. You know, you guys say that Black women are preventing you from building. Black women are emasculating you. Black women are keeping you, I don't know. What do you say? We're too masculine. You need feminine women. Listen, I'm telling you now, no one's stopping you from doing any of the things that I just mentioned. You can just go off and do them. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. Just go get better. Go get better. Go heal yourself. So for us, those of us who are on this side of the coin, those of us who are in this camp, those of us who try our best to live a good life. We do our best every day. We wake up and we do our best. We try to live by the book. We earn an honest living. We don't give out criticism that's not earned. For us, it will help us to understand these people's motivations and to not get caught up in their drama. Not to get caught up in the as Linda would say, the muck and the mire. The muck and the mire. Because the scamming, like I said, the scamming, the scheming, the nefarious bullshit is a beacon of light that attracts like. So we will exercise discernment in creating connections online so that we do not waste our time and our energy and our resources creating connections with nefarious-minded people, with criminal-minded people, because they're going to come and they're not going to stop for the reasons that I mentioned earlier in the live. I am going out to celebrate my birthday, so I need to start getting dressed. I would like to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you all of y'all. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to end the live. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Peace and love.